There you go. That's some pretty nice music to start another episode of Survival of the Fittest is the soup du jour. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time once again for me to chat and talk it up. Well, I tell you what, where do you live? Where is your mind? What is it that you like to eat? What state do you live in, and what state has the best food? Man, I can tell you, we can go down the line about that one. And I think everyone would fiercely fight you to say that their state is the best state for food. Now, let's see. California has its share of great chefs, its share of great restaurants, great culinary traditions. Texas, New York, you tell me. Then again, you tell me what's your favorite dish from each of these states. Well, we can go down the line. Do you like smoked Kansas City barbecue? Do you like Texas-style barbecue? Do you like Memphis-style barbecue? Do you love the Gulf-style seafood restaurants of Florida and Mississippi and Alabama? Do you like the Creole and Cajun food of Louisiana? Do you love the rice and beans de Puerto Rico? Do you love to eat all these wonderful things that the different states have to offer, the different territories and the different parts? Really, and if you think about it, I'm very, like, this is what I know. This is where I eat, and I've been around. And I tell you what, now that we're sort of like not only, we used to have most of our listeners here in the States early on, but now we have a lot of international listeners. And I'm curious that maybe they're all feeling a little bit, because you're probably listening to the show saying like, hey, I don't live in Kansas. I don't live in Idaho. I don't live in Montana. I live in Turkey. I live in Ireland. I live in Morocco. I live in Japan. And that is what's wonderful about the United States. All those countries I just mentioned are properly represented here in the United States. And that's cool. One thing we've always been able to take claim to in the United States is that we are a melting pot of different peoples from all over the world. And this is why I say that this is the United Taste of America, Los Sabores Unidos, These are the things that really kind of give us a very unique perspective on food. And when we can say, what is your favorite dish? Do you go way back to say like, well, I like what is it, a Cleveland Brown, the sandwich? Or is it having an etouffee from New Orleans? Or is it, all these different things? But the fact is, over the years, it's changed. In California, you might have said, well, at the Brown Derby, they used to make a great French onion soup. Is that something from California? Maybe not. But now you're definitely going to say, I love a big, nasty, and I say that lovingly, California-style burrito. Lleno de carne asada and some hot sauce and rice and beans. Yum. Or I like to go to Miami and have a Cuban sandwich, which probably didn't come from Cuba, but certainly Cuban immigrants kind of developing the sandwich here in Miami or in South Florida. These are the things that I love, that you could go to Chicago and have some really good German food. Or New York, where do we start when we talk about New York City and its flavor profile? Where do we begin? Little Italy, Chinatown? Do we go to the late, great Sammy's, on 41st? Was it on 41st? I don't recall. If you all remember, let's schmaltz it up at Sammy's. You know what I'm talking about. Romanian Cafe. Pierogies? Wow. What a country. What a place to eat. What a place to grow up. What a place to visit. What What a stunning just flavor profile that we're lucky enough to share with the world and with each other here in the United States. I mean, Native American foods in New Mexico. I mean, what can I say? Where do we begin? Great sushi in Washington State, where you'd say like, why? But because there's a lot of Japanese there and they have that extremely good seafood. Yeah, of course it'd be great seafood. Yeah, great sushi. This is what makes me excited to be a chef in America. All those influences. I remember when I was young, we used to go to Thai restaurants. We'd go to Indian restaurants. I was lucky enough to grow up in the San Francisco Bay Area, where flavors and ethnic food were really the norm. Everybody wanted to, in the 80s, to have sushi, and you could have just a number of sushi joints like Miyaki's. We used to go to a place in Palo Alto on University Avenue called, Miyaki's, and it used to have like a 2-hour wait to get in there and just have maki rolls. And the standout for me, of course, was this cabbage like salad with this like miso and soy dressing that I loved, and I couldn't get enough of that. But that's the beauty of saying we live here. You have a passport of flavor in the United States, and there's just little niches too that I've never heard. I don't even know what goes on in these little towns where maybe they're making some dish from the old country. I mean, not to mention all the great Jewish delis, where you can get great matzo ball soup or kasha vernishnikas, and everyone corrects me. Anyone of any kind of Jewish background always says, that's not how you say it. But, a great knish. Man, I love knish. I used to go to Yonah Schimmel's in the Lower East Side and just get a great kasha knish. And they get funky. They actually do like a potato and cheddar and jalapeno knish, which I love. So, go to Russ and Daughters and get yourself just, great smoked salmon on a everything bagel with just a smear of cream cheese with green onions, and it's just delicious. Go have some pho. I always said pho, but I was corrected, pho, and get it with the dried beef tongue or the flank steak. Just amazing. We are so lucky. We are so lucky that this is the case for us here, that you have that ability to not only travel within the United States, but around the world when it comes to food. Indian food. Wow. Are we lucky to just get some great Indian dishes in America? And it's not that I'm not saying like, don't travel, don't go to Spain and have wonderful salmorejo in Andalusia. I'm not saying don't go to Rome and have that pizza with the potato on top that you say like pizza and potato, but it is the best. I'm not saying don't go to Greece and have a great Slovaki or just Greece has such great food. Forget about it. I love it. Or go to Germany even, where you say to yourself like, well, I've never really been up on German food, but it's wonderful. It's great. Austria, you get a good Wiener Schnitzel, it's the best. Go to England and have bangers and mash in the morning. That's what I'm talking about. As a chef, the passion and the love for food can drive you to travel and search out that mysterious flavor that will fulfill you as a chef. That secret sauce, that missing spice in your life. That's what I'm talking about. It's a beautiful reality. I'm very excited. I mean, this is like an off the cuff today. We didn't think much about it. We just kind of said, let's just record. Let's, want to thank our sponsors, and we want to make sure we stay relevant. But I really wanted to just talk about how exciting it is to just dine out and not necessarily say like, well, I just want a big old steak, and that's fine if that's your thing, but nothing like someone doing like I guess a Yankee pudding, with the steak, and that makes it very different. Or just some great mashed potatoes. These are the things that I say to myself, like, yeah, being a chef is wonderful. Discovering flavors is the best thing. And to push yourself to get out of your comfort zone when it comes to cooking and living and discover, who knew that you could go to Peru and eat some of the most amazing food on the planet? Who knew you could go to Buenos Aires and have a fugaceta, which is one of those things that some people know and not everyone knows. But if you don't know, you better find out what a fugaceta is. And if you don't know what it is, you better eat it because it's delicious. And I'm going to leave it at that with that because I need you to find out what a fugaceta is without me talking about it. Who knew that you could go to South Africa and get some of the best wines and some of the highest end cuisine that you ever thought of? Who knew? But as a chef, you're willing to get out of your comfort zone and you're willing to discover this. Arlen, what you got for us? That's what I'm talking about. Welcome. Good to see y'all. Turkey. Some exciting food. Their street food might be some of the best on the planet. You think that only in Los Angeles. Not true. Turkey has some amazing street foods and stalls and different things, and not to mention Turkish delight. Yum. Cataplanas from Portugal and curries from India and curries in London because they're that good, in the UK. So this is what has always been my driving force. I was a lover of like different cultures and different things growing up, and really kind of putting the two together with food and travel and understanding of different people's cultures, by what they eat. It's really what good screenplays, it's really what good TV, it's really what good podcasting is all about. It's about discovery. And that is what I'm pushing on you today. Get out there, eat, travel, enjoy your lives. I think that if you are willing to get out of your comfort zone, you will discover those things that will make you excellent. Excellent, not as a chef, but excellent at life. And this is very important. You must become an expert of living, because it's not all about 10, 12, 14 hours a day of work. It's not all about bills. It's not all about that race that you're constantly in, the tapon, I guess it's called the traffic jam. It's about learning how to live your life. It's not forever, y'all. It's not forever. And, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm trying to be positive. It's not forever. And when that day comes, well, you will meet that adventure as well, however you want to meet it. But it's about learning how to live your life. Become a professional life liver, Become a professional enjoyer of life. I know that doesn't make sense because these are words that I'm sort of inventing, but because I feel it. I'm a professional liver of life. I'm a professional eater of great food. I'm a professional discoverer of wonderful flavors. And these are the things that I need you to do as a chef, as a human. Get out there. Discover something new. Discover something for you. And with that, I must say, survival of the fittest is the soup du jour. And I will always push you surviving, and I will always push the soup du jour because I'm that chef. Ladies and gentlemen, it's always a pleasure to spend time with you. I'd like to say hi to everyone around the world listening to us. Please be inspired. Get out there, try something new, share it with the people you love. And once again, this is Survival of the Fittest, the soup du jour. I'm Chef Roberto Trevino, and I'm thanking you for spending some time with me. Y'all take care. Greetings, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care, folks.
It's been so loud. The tension we got, it kills me to